In this class, inshallah, we'll study how to expand our sentences when we write our paragraphs. What I mean by expand our sentence, I mean to develop your sentence, not to write only one sentence, one idea without development, without explanation. Last time, we studied two different ways to support your ideas. One of them is to give an example, and the other was to explain a point. We won't add something new today except 3 points. Okay, so if I wrote a point like robots are useful for household activities, okay? This is a point. When I give a point, I should either give an example or even explain the point. So it's not correct to say, moreover, robots are helpful in business. Why these two sentences as development are wrong? Who can tell me why? In point number 1, I just wrote robots are useful for household activities. Moreover, robots are helpful in businesses. Why this structure in writing a paragraph is invalid or incorrect? Who can explain this point?
Because they didn't support their they
Yes.
didn't support the sentence or the statement that they were making.
Okay, how many points do we have here? 1 or 2?
Two,
2. The first one is what?
robots are useful for household activities.
Yes, and then I jumped quickly into what?
The
A
second
second
point.
point or a new point, which is robots are helpful in business, right? These are two completely different points. So don't write in this way, but explain to me how it is helpful in the household activities by giving example or explanation. After you finish the first point, go to the second point and also explain it or give it an example. Okay, for this reason, we will study in this class how to expand your sentences, how to write a sentence, and don't jump to a new point or a new sentence before you explain the first one. Okay, let's here answer this point. Expand your sentences by answering some questions. Like, if I wrote this sentence, I should stop here and ask myself some question. Robots are useful for household activities. Don't write another point. Stop here and ask yourself these questions. What are these questions? How? How robots are useful for the household activities? And why? Why robots are useful for the household activities? Or what? Like what I mean by what? What is the result that follows this sentence? So we have here four very necessary questions to ask yourself when you write a point before you jump to a new point. Okay? Abdullah, read these 4 points again.
How this is useful for my topic.
Mm-hmm.
Why this information useful for the reader.
Yes.
Why they should accept my information.
Yes.
What is the result follows in this sentence.
Yes, exactly. So we need to answer these questions when I write a point. Let's take an example for each. For instance, sentence number 1 here. using phones during class time can be a major distraction for students. So, using phones can be what here? A major distraction. Don't go to a new point to jump to point number 2, okay, by saying, and using phones can be a major, sorry, the next point is below. And don't say, it can lead to an increase in cheating and plagiarism. This is a point, okay, and this is a different, this is a different point. So what should I do? As I told you, we should answer these questions. Let's see what are the questions I should answer. In point number 1 here, using phones during class time can be a major distraction for students. We said, ask yourself this question because the reader himself needs to know how. Okay? Needs to know how. How using phones during class time can be a distraction. Distraction means stop one's concentration. Okay, concentration. It means it makes you distracted, like stopping your concentration. You are not paying attention. Okay, how? He gave here by hindering, and hinder means to stop their ability to focus and engage in the learning process. So what we added here, how we expanded, how we stretched the first sentence by answering the question what? How? How using phones in the class can be a major distraction by hindering or stopping or blocking, okay, one's ability to focus and be engaged in the learning process. Okay, we understand how we write a point and answer the question how. Is it clear to all of you? Clear,
Yes,
inshallah?
sir.
Abdullah, Ayubu, Fatma, which is Siraj, Hala, Ragad. Is it clear?
Yes,
Yes.
everything clear.
Great. Okay, don't say it's clear if it's not clear, because now I'm gonna ask you to write a sentence similar to this structure. Be sure that you understand every single point. Point 2, we said also the same point here, can be expanded or explained in a different way. Using phones can be a major distraction for students during class time. I already told you this point, but what is the result? What may happen after that? What the distraction for the students may lead to? Lead to. This what we mean by the results. Okay, this leads to what? To a decrease in their academic performance. It means the decrease in the academic performance is a logical result or a logical outcome or a logical consequence. Okay? So now we told him that what will happen? Ask yourself, what will happen if I told the reader this point? If I told the reader that using phones can be a major distraction for the students in the class, what is the result that follows this point? The result is that the academic performance of the students will be depleted or decreased. Point number 2 is clear.
Yes, yes.
Oh, if
Yes.
anybody has any problem with any rule, send a message in the chat box. The last point. Answering the question why. If there is a reason can be added. he told here the reader a new point. It can lead to an increase in cheating and plagiarism. Plagiarism means academic theft. Academic theft means the copyrights that people can steal the copyrights of an author or of a content. This is the meaning of plagiarism. Okay, so it can lead to increase in cheating and plagiarism. Why this can happen? Because this is a reason. Now we are answering the question why. Because students can easily access information online during exams. This is the third point. So I repeat, when you write a point in your letter, in a letter, in a paragraph, article, essay, news report, magazine article, a short story, recount, review, whatever the kind of writing you are writing, you should stop while you write a sentence to answer these questions. Again, what are these questions? Number one, يا رغد, when I write a sentence, I should stop to answer what question? After I mention a point, how? Okay. Hala, the second question that I should answer is,
what is the result?
yes, what are the results? Okay, Siraj, the third question that I might answer to write a perfect sentence is to answer the question what?
Why?
Why? Great, thank you. So, don't forget these 3 points so that you can write a well-developed point, a fully explained point. Don't wait for the reader to ask you these questions. A very good point here is that always expect that your reader has no knowledge about the topic, has no knowledge or knows nothing. For this reason, I should explain every point I write. Okay, that's great. Now, I need you to write 3 sentences. One of them is developed by answering the question how. The second one is an answer to the question what is the result of that point, or give a reason for a point. Here are 3 examples on the screen. Read them silently again and again. Be sure that you understand them successfully so that you can write your examples. I'll give you 2 minutes to revise the 3 examples on the screen. Then get back to me to write your task.